Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this video with the Masters of the Universe Classics TYTUS figure, Heroic Giant Warlord, 12-inch figure. TYTUS came as part of a Master of the Universe Classics haul I scored as part of Matty Collector's Black Friday sale. Now, I was fortunate enough to pick TYTUS up at half price. He's regularly priced at $40, so I got him for $20, which is of course the price of their regular standard 6-7 inch figures. And I pretty much only got him because he was half price. I don't think I would have coughed up $40 for this guy. And in package it is huge. I've actually zoomed my camera as far out as it can zoom. I'm actually sat halfway across my living room from the actual figure here, and I'm still not quite getting the whole package in frame. Of course, the packaging has the powers of Grayskull sticker applied to it, and if memory serves, TYTUS came at the tail end of the Master of the Universe vintage figures, and I believe was only ever launched in Italy. I'm sure many of you probably know the history of him way better than I do, so feel free to set me straight in the comments below if I give you any incorrect information here. Turning him over, you'll see a whole host of other Masters of the Universe Classics figures on the card back there. I'll just go down to the TYTUS's bio, which if you want to read at your own leisure, please pause now. I won't read it aloud, but I will mention the bio because usually I'm not a fan of the bios they write, because I think sometimes the bios just make me cringe a little bit because of how desperate they are to kind of connect characters. It seems a bit contrived to me sometimes. Yet here I really like this bio, largely because it mentioned TYTUS building Castle Grayskull, and that summed up, you know, great images in my mind of this huge giant kind of picking up the huge stones that Castle Grayskull is comprised of. So the bio to me kind of was very visual and really inspired my imagination, really. So that was part of the reason why I got TYTUS. The other, of course, as I said, was because he was $20 and I'm a sucker for a bargain. Anyway, I am going to open up TYTUS, give you my impression of him, and I guess we will find out collectively if bigger is better. Gosh, getting this guy out of package was a task as epic as him building Castle Grayskull itself. There was umpteen twisty ties, sellotape, rubber bands. Whew, I'm exhausted, I need to lay down. A great looking figure, looks very dynamic. Visually looks great. If you stand him on a shelf, look at him across the room, he's going to do your eyes proud. I will just bring in a regular Master of the Universe Classics figure just to give you a bit of size comparison. Stand up please, Faker. And there you are. So he does tower over the regular Master of the Universe Classics figures. It's just unfortunate that he isn't as articulated as the regular figures. I guess on this scale, to bring him in to budget. They had to sacrifice different parts. Of course, the more articulation you have on the figure, the more separate parts you need to engineer. So eliminating some of the articulation does make for a cheaper figure, of course. So discussing the articulation, he does rotate at the head. I assume that would be 360 degrees if his hair allowed it, which of course it doesn't, his hair being a hard plastic. But of course he is a giant, not an owl, so why would you need to rotate his head 360 degrees anyway? His shoulders seem to rotate around. I have tried to move them up and down at the sides and they don't seem to budge any, and I don't want to force them, so I assume that this is the only articulation his arms have. Just a single joint at the elbow. Does rotate 360 at the wrists. Articulation at the waist. And excuse me while I flash you Titus's private parts, but there is no ball joint under there. His legs are on a T-joint, which means they just move forward and back. Single point of articulation at the knees. He does rotate at the boots, but it does kind of leave a ugly wedge in his shin when you do move the boots to the side. He does come with this accessory, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Well, I won't go that far because I've seen plenty of weird things in my time, let me tell you. But it is a curiosity, that's for sure. I'm not sure what this is or why it's included. Did the original vintage figure come with something like this? Is that why they've included it? But this fits in Titus's hand, and unfortunately the weight of it does mean that Titus falls forward, so you do need to counterbalance at the knees by articulating them, bringing Titus's weight back to counterbalance this accessory. It's just very odd, isn't it? It looks like some weird Eternian vacuum cleaner, or those kind of metal detectors that you see, those kind of eccentric crazy people on the beach trying to discover lost pirate gold. It just to me looks a bit ridiculous really, and kind of distracts from how dynamic the figure is. So we're gonna lose that. I'll hide this away in a shelf somewhere where it'll probably never see the light of day ever again. I'll just move the camera closer so you get some of the... Oh, look how big Titus looks, huh, from this angle. There's some of the detail on the figure. The boots are very nice, you know, sculpt. Plus there's kind of some, looks like some dry brushing going on to make it look kind of like weathered metal, which is cool. Now the skin tone to me, I think, is a bit too orange. I mean, I guess maybe they see a lot of sun during the summer in Eternia, who knows? Or maybe they have great Eternian sunbeds to fit a giant like Titus, but I'd prefer that orange tone to be taken down a little bit. It's kind of up there with the Miz and Cheryl Cole and Joey Essex to me. So maybe a more naturalistic flesh tone would be cool. And a very stoic face there. I like his headpiece. It's kind of very Conan the Barbarian. Anyway, that's Titus. I'm a big fan of him for $20. For $40, not so much. So if I were you, I would advise doing what I did and perhaps wait for the next Matty sale, and maybe you'll be able to score Titus at a bargain price. If not, it's hitting eBay and paying over the odds for him. Anyway, please comment, rate and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.